Cheers, welcome to my new channel. Not new, I've been here since the dinosaurs roamed the YouTube landscape, but I have definitely changed and I feel as though I'm sort of stepping into a new version of me, a new chapter of me, if you will, here on YouTube. Hi, this is the first video you've seen of mine, what a fun way to enter into my mania. My name's Lisa Schwartz. I have been making YouTube videos for the past like 17 plus years, but this past year, and I am now like doing years from my baby's birth, like from her birthday, so we're almost a year into her life, which is wild. So in this past year from August, I've experienced so much and I feel like I'm finally who I am now. It's been a really insane transition year and I tried my best to vlog and I tried my best to do YouTube and I just couldn't do it. It truthfully like went on the back burner because life was so much to wrap my head around. So much good and so much crazy and so much bad and so much health and all the things. But now I am here sort of coming out as a butterfly from my cocoon, and I'm ready to attack this, whatever that looks like now. I feel like a completely different person, which feels very dramatic to say, and I don't mean to be so like grandiose about it, but I guess it kind of is. I'm a mom. That's wild. Cheers. By the way, I'm having a margarita. My husband taught me how to make the best margarita, and I have a moment to myself. It's 5 o'clock. My nanny is here, and I'm finally pressing record on the camera after months off. So cheers to that. Oh, and hello. Big announcement. My doctor gave me the thumbs up to a full recovery from my postpartum cardiomyopathy, which was heart failure after giving birth to my daughter, which kicked off this crazy year. If you missed that, somehow that video will remain because I feel that a lot of people really responded to that video, needed to hear about that condition, and I kind of gave a voice to a lot of people who didn't have one from experiencing this, because I didn't know what it was, and now I completely know what it is, and now I am a survivor of it. I'm sorry, I keep touching my camera because the viewfinder keeps flipping, so I'm upside down. I just want to make sure that I look fabulous. So, where to even begin? Had my daughter, a couple days later, had this crazy medical emergency, and I had to leave my newborn and my husband at home, and I was still in the throes of like recovering from a C-section because my birth was like this long traumatic situation, so on and so forth. Again, those videos are up. But then I had to like wrap my head around the fact that I like was in my early 40s having a heart failure after years of taking such wonderful care of myself as I drink a margarita. But like, I exercise well, I eat well, I had a really great pregnancy, the whole thing. So I was like trying to wrap my head around this while also having this like very scary experience in the hospital, and the whole thing was like such a warp, and birth alone is like such a weird, like a lot of women just sort of forget about it because it's that traumatic and that hard to really like grasp. And so I had that, and then I came home and I thought everything was great, and I was so grateful that like I had survived this, and that my daughter was beautiful and healthy, and my husband had stepped up like just incredible champion, and then my family and friends like stepped in a way that I always assumed they would, but never thought they would need to. And they went even above and beyond that, and all these sort of like miracles fell into place, and I felt like, wow, here I am. I have so much to be grateful for. Like, let's do this thing. Let's turn on the camera. Let's mommy blog. Let's just continue with life. And then like life slapped me in the face, and postpartum was like, no, 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 no. You have so much to process and recover from, and like, yeah, that's gonna be a hurdle you didn't even know you had to jump, and it's gonna be a lot higher than you thought it was gonna be. And I suffered so significantly. I am here to be the voice for postpartum depression and anger and anxiety. I mean, I got it and then some. And it was so rough and so much more than I feel like I shared some of it on camera, but I don't even think I had processed what was happening while I was living in it and vlogging about it, until Christmas came and I couldn't get out of the bed, and I was just like at the bottom. Like, I don't see the point bottom. And my family and friends pulled together to support me, and I'm forever grateful for that, and I still don't really know how to thank them for that, and I hope that I can, over time, really pay them back for what they did for me. But eventually I ended up getting on a better medication and continued through therapy, and I finally feel like a human again, and now I feel like a mom human, which is such a beautiful, wonderful, fantastical thing that I'm so grateful I finally get to enjoy. Because I didn't have that moment where like I instantly was like, oh, I love being a mother. Like, I just didn't have that. I loved my daughter and I knew that, seeing her, but it just didn't click. And I would be on Instagram and I see all these other moms who either they were lying or it really was happening for them. And I'm so grateful for that for them. And momhood or parenthood is not a competition and shouldn't be a competition. And people who are in comments, like on Instagram, on other people's like posts, or, you know, saying, oh, you're doing it wrong, or like, shame on you for that. No, 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 no. Unless like they're like doing things that are illegal and harmful and all that. If a parent is really doing their best, and maybe it's not the way you would do it or you're doing it, but they are doing their best version of parenting, like, God bless them, and like, let them be. Which was part of my like hesitation to vlogging too, because I wasn't in the right headspace to take any negative comments. I mean, no one's ever really, unless you're like a sociopath, I just like, it's really hard to just ignore the negative comments, like normally speaking, but I was in such a place that like any negative comment would like set me off, and really make me question myself and myself as a mom and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, for my mental health, I took a step back, wrapping back around to say, oh, I'm finally here and I feel confident as a person, as a creator, and as a mother, that I am doing the best job I can to give my baby girl, me and my husband and our family and friends, to give her everything she could possibly need and more, and continue to audit and edit and grow and change and take note of things as we move along, because we're not perfect and we're never going to be perfect parents, but we're absolutely going to try our best. And I feel positive about that and confident enough to press record. And so I feel like I've grown tremendously through this experience of postpartum and heart failure, and from stepping back from YouTube to really like check myself and check myself in to a rehab of sorts. Not an actual rehab, although at one point I was like, I should probably do that for like postpartum to really help myself. But I was lucky enough to have resources here in my home, on Zoom. I did a bunch of like groups. I did private therapy, psychiatrist, the whole shebang, to finally like come out a better version of myself. At least I think so. And there's always going to be room for growth, like I said, and I feel like I'm constantly going to have to check in with myself and see how I'm doing. But yeah, I was ready to finally press record on the camera and fill you guys in. I mean, that was a lot to fill in all at once, and I think as we continue on this journey, if we continue on this journey, I'm like not gonna set myself up for failure here. I'm just gonna go one step at a time. But here's like my general idea and plan, okay? My timing is very limited. I'm basically a full-time mom, which is wild. That wasn't like the original plan. We were gonna be 2 working parents, but as my health physically and mentally were like so taxed, it kind of turned into me finally, once I was like stable enough to be a stay-at-home mom, like doing that while Jeff works his butt off because he's so badass and I'm so appreciative for him. And I've been staying home. We do have help twice a week for 4 hours, which is such a luxury, and I'm very aware and very grateful for that. And during that time, I have been doing things like exercising. I prioritize exercising, showering, which you didn't know was hard to do when you have an under oneer, and probably even older kids, but definitely right now it's like really hard to do unless she's sleeping. And also cleaning the house, trying to do other work, obviously outside of YouTube, to help bring in some income. And that's like it. Then the 4 hours is up. 4 hours goes really fast. Take the dog for a walk. And then it's back to momming. And I really try my best not to be on my phone, on the camera, on the computer when she's around. I'm trying to be as engaged as possible. We've started like socializing a lot with other kids, and that's been tremendous to watch her growth from that alone. She now knows how to say her own name because my friend Tracy, who you might know, her son is always saying an Annie, and so she picked it up, which is like so cute. So socializing a lot, and we've taken on some classes, and I'm just trying to be as engaged as possible. This is all to say, like, my time windows are really small to sit down and record and edit and upload and all that. So I don't want to set myself up for failure for being like, I'm going to do a video every week. But I do feel like there's like a little corner still for mommy parenting 40-year-old content, which I never thought I would say, do, or watch, but here we are. Cheers to that. I'm also drinking so slow. Look how I've matured, you guys. Look how I have matured. Who is she? She's mommy bug? Oh God, that's gross, sorry. I was so hesitant before to like do mommy type content because I was worried it was gonna like alienate people or it was gonna be too far off from what you guys are used to seeing, but like that's just like what my life is. And I know some people are gonna be like, you need balance, you need to be yourself and a mom, and I don't disagree with that. But again, like my baby's just about to be 1 and it's been a year. I am still figuring out the groove and like this new version of me. And so right now I am all in on mommy. My social life has like really decreased. We make efforts and we're doing our best, but like, you know, money doesn't grow on trees over here. So hiring someone to be here with our baby is expensive, and going out at night is expensive. So we really pick and choose our events. We do have family, but you know, we are careful with how much we ask for help and this and that. Anyways, maybe that's a video for another day. Childcare. Childcare versus working is like a conversation I feel like we're constantly having because here, at least in LA, the cost of childcare is so tremendous. And it's like, well, does it make more sense for like a 2-income household, or and then you have to like hire childcare? Like, you know what I mean? The balance is confusing. So anyways, I was so hesitant to do that kind of content, but this is what I got. And I feel like as I've matured here on this channel and my content has clearly changed,
this is just like the next chapter. So there's things I want to do. Like, I'm a terrible cook. I mean, a terrible cook. And it doesn't matter for myself or my husband because he's the one that usually cooks for the two of us. But like, we cook, like we eat really healthy and like very plainly. Like, well, he's better at seasoning. I like don't season anything. Like, you guys would be ashamed of my work in the kitchen. That's a hard no, chef. But I want to be better at cooking for my child. And I want to pick up that slack for my husband because he's working so hard. He doesn't need to cook for all of us all the time. And so I was thinking of like maybe trying some like really simple recipes and like learning together, which might be stupid for some of you. Some of you might make a lot of fun of me and be like, this is dumb. But like, I feel like there's a handful of us out there who are like, oh my God, please, let's learn this together. Is this still recording? Now my viewfinder is, I wish you could see it, all the way to the right of my camera and upside down because this camera has been around almost as long as this channel has been around. So there's that. I also talk a lot about financial stuff and like I'm really trying to be a thrifty mom, and I used to be embarrassed by that because for a long time I felt like the trend on YouTube was like people just wanted to watch rich people, and and there's nothing wrong with that, and I still think like people love that and they want to see the Fendi box. Is Fendi even in? You're talking to the wrong person. I'm not cool, by the way. So if you're looking for anything trendy, that's not me. But people wanted to watch people, you know, unbox fancy things and watch those kinds of lifestyles. And again, I think that there's definitely an audience for that and a place for that. But I'm trying to just like be a thrifty mom and get clever with things. We have her birthday coming up, and I'm trying to figure out like what kind of food to serve that is still healthy and delicious and high quality but isn't going to break the bank, and what kind of party favors to put together, and like all that stuff that I feel like as a consumer I would like to watch someone else do that, but I was so hesitant to bring that to the channel because of these like preconceived notions that I had about like what content was supposed to look like and what I was supposed to be. And it was embarrassing to say like if you weren't a bajillionaire here on YouTube, you know what I mean? So I'm just wanting to bring more realistic content to my channel, and I no longer really care if that's like not appealing to people. There was this like one comment on one of my older videos from this year that was like, was it just like, oh, just stop already. And like, that was the last comment I read, and I stopped. And I'm done living that version of my life. I just want to do what I want to do, and knowing that it's authentic and it has the best of intentions. And if I mess up, well, take accountability for it, but I will always know that my intentions were good, and that's all I can lead with. So I feel like you just heard Annie come in. So I'm gonna go because she will always be my priority. So I apologize if these videos are few and far between, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm hoping to be inspired to continue to create, because I feel like at the core of it, I have always been a creator, and I'm proud to be that. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do that. I'm going to try to post more links to things that I like, and yeah, I don't know. Just gonna go one day at a time. Now that I know that I have a lot of time. And by the way, to the one person that was like, hey, is your life expectancy shorter now that you had heart failure? And I thought that was like the weirdest question ever. I asked my doctor that today, and he says no. So cheers to a long life together. I'm gonna be that 80-year-old on YouTube making a where was I this last couple of months video. Just you wait. See you then. Bye.